How to save money and have healthier kids. At age 9, Sergio Botenko could finish an extra-large pizza all by himself. His parents found him unconscious on the bathroom floor, and he was diagnosed with diabetes. Our family doctor informed my parents that unless I immediately began taking insulin shots, my health would deteriorate and become unsalvageable within months. According to the Nemours Foundation, 1 out of every 3 children in the U.S. are overweight or obese. 2 out of every 3 children do not get any daily physical activity. And the average child spends 7 hours a day watching TV or computer screens. Besides the factors of sedentary lifestyle and subpar nutrition, I found another surprising culprit in my research: consumerism. Susan Lin is a child psychologist who went undercover as a marketer and paid $4,000 to attend a marketing convention that included Mattel, Nickelodeon, and other major corporations. She found out about studies such as the nag factor and the fine art of whining. These studies are not conducted to help parents, but rather to find out what kind of nagging produces purchases. For instance, in 1 out of every 3 trips to a fast food restaurant, or in 3 out of every 10 video sales. Lynn observed that what this means is that children are bombarded from morning to night with messages designed not to make their lives better, but to sell them something. And sell they have, even to babies. I thought it was so cute when I saw a counting book using M&Ms, but now I realize that Mars was just trying to hook my children on their candy as soon as possible. The result is brand name recognition by the time they speak. And so, while most of us try to conceal our horror as a child throws a tantrum in the grocery store because they want a sugar-filled cereal, corporations are doing high fives. Susan Lin observes that 10 years ago, when I asked children how they saw their futures, they talked about the kind of professions they wanted to have. But now they share a list of things they want to own. Indeed, it seems as though their stomachs are full, but their souls are empty. Remember Sergio, the boy with diabetes? He recalls that at the age of 9 he was easily bored, and that no matter how many movies he watched, he always ended up unhappy. His family moved to Michigan, where they did not have access to TV, and while it was hard at first, he found he preferred talks, walks, and even work to video games. I think there are 3 things we can do as parents to save money and have healthier kids. Number 1 is to get savvy to marketers' secrets. Reading books like Consuming Kids by Susan Lin and Big Fat Lies by John Bernstein can help us avoid the parenting pitfalls that lighten our wallet and perhaps do the opposite for our children. Number 2, pull the plug. If going without TV entirely seems unthinkable, then limiting TV to 2 hours or less a day still proves very beneficial for children. Love and Logic founder Dr. Charles Fay recommends turning the TV off at least 1 hour before bedtime. He says that regardless of how educational the show or video is, something about the fast-paced images electrifies their little neurons. By the time they're supposed to be winding down and hitting the sack, they're hitting high gear. Number 3 is eat and buy whole foods. When considering children and their health, it is impossible not to come to the subject of food. The standard American diet is truly sad. It is high in sugar, white flour, red meat, cholesterol, and salt. And while all the fruits and vegetables and whole grains are pushed aside, we know we should be eating better, but we don't. If wisdom is truly knowledge, rightly applied, it is time for us to acquire some wisdom for the sake of our children and our own health. Appetite is acquired. If children see us eating greens, fruits, and whole grains, then they will also want to eat them. Once they have grown accustomed to the sad diet, however, they put up a great deal of resistance. It takes patience and eating the right foods ourselves. If not pushed or demanded upon, children will naturally start to desire healthy food over time. Sergio Botenko's story has a very happy ending. Not only did he overcome diabetes, he and his sister Valia are the authors of 2 highly reviewed and inspiring cookbooks on Amazon. Sergio's blood sugar has been stable ever since his dedicated mother, Victoria Botenko, switched their diet to raw foods only. She is the founder of the concept of green smoothies. In her book, Green for Life, she finds that chimpanzees have a similar physical makeup to humans, but humans only consume 7% greens, while chimpanzees consume almost 50% greens. She began making smoothies consisting of leafy greens combined with fruit and has noticed remarkable health benefits. It is time we stopped believing the lies that Madison Avenue has taught us. Best-selling author Natalia Rose is so concerned about nutrition for our children that she has written a free book called Life Force Energies, Recipes for Children. She says, I ask myself how it is possible that parents can send their kids off to consume indecent quantities of unfit foods, antibiotic and hormone-laden milk, cheap cereal, frozen, dead, gluey foods from the school cafeteria 5 days a week, and not realize that that kind of food is setting them up for disease and emotional, mental imbalances in the short and long term. While many of us in Idaho are not ready to eat only raw foods, we can start by eliminating white flour and white sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and red meat. We can do this 1 week at a time, too. For instance, this week we can eliminate white flour from our diets. Next week we can eliminate red meat. The week after that, we can get rid of anything that has high fructose corn syrup, etc. And while it is cheaper to buy white flour and processed foods made with high fructose corn syrup, in the end, we get what we paid for. Americans spent $344 billion a year in medical expenses for obesity-related diseases. There are support groups and websites that can help us stay on track and offer a healthier, happier lifestyle for our children. If we are in a group such as this, it is a great way to share recipes and support. You can do anything if you have a supportive team. So what are the 3 things we can do to save money and have healthier kids? Get savvy of marketing secrets, pull the plug, and eat whole foods. Thank you for coming today.